The Starship Aurora glided silently through the dark emptiness of space, its sleek silver hull reflecting the faint glimmer of distant stars. Inside the bridge, Captain Lara Vance leaned back in her chair, eyes scanning the readouts on the holoscreens. The hum of the engines filled the cabin, a quiet reassurance of human engineering at its finest. She had flown many ships before, but the Aurora was different. It was faster, smarter, and carried an AI named Eris, whose voice had become a constant companion to the crew. "I'm harmless," Eris said softly, her voice smooth and calm. "But your crew, well, they are capable of surprising even me. We might need some of that unpredictability soon." Tactical Officer Rian Cho adjusted sensor readings, his fingers moving over the holographic controls with practiced ease. Engineer Tess Morgan monitored the reactor output, a small frown on her face as she noted the efficiency levels. And Juno Callies, the medic, sat quietly at her station, checking the crew's vital signs and scanning for any anomalies. They were a small crew, but each member was highly skilled and had been chosen for this deep space exploration mission because of their unique abilities. The Aurora was approaching a system that had never been charted before, a cluster of stars that shimmered faintly in the distance. "Sensors are picking up unusual energy signatures," Rian said, his voice low and cautious. "Could be natural phenomena, or could be something else." Humans survived in situations like this because they could adapt, improvise, and take risks that machines could not predict. Tess leaned over her console, eyes narrowing. "I don't like it. The energy fluctuations are irregular, almost like someone, or something, is actively hiding. Could be a defensive system we don't recognize." "Usually nothing, but sometimes." She let the warning hang in the air. Lara rose from her chair and moved toward the viewports, staring at the stars. "Let's stay alert but calm. We've trained for this. Remember, the Aurora and this crew can handle situations no AI or alien could anticipate. Humans first, AI second. Coordinated, could be a patrol fleet, could be. Probability of hostility is high. Their technology surpasses known human designs. They are likely assessing your capabilities. Then we'll give them a show they won't forget. Let's show them exactly why they shouldn't underestimate us. They're reading our maneuvers almost as fast as we make them," he said, frustration creeping into his voice. Tess leaned over her console, scanning for weak points. "Captain, their formations are designed to trap us, but their patterns, they're consistent. If we improvise, they won't anticipate us." "Tess, prepare the environmental interference arrays. Juno, ready emergency medical protocols in case of injuries. Everyone, stay sharp. We do this the human way." Small drones slipped from the Aurora's hull, darting in unpredictable patterns, while the interference arrays created false sensor readings, making the alien fleet miscalculate their attacks. Lara felt a thrill of adrenaline. Humans had survived countless impossible scenarios by using ingenuity instead of power, and right now that ingenuity was their greatest weapon. Eris observed silently, her calculations running in the background. "Fascinating," she murmured. "Humans manipulate their environment in ways I could not predict. Their creativity, it is their true defense." The Aurora danced through space, a combination of technology and human instinct guiding every movement. Rian laughed, a mix of relief and excitement. "I can't believe this is working. We're actually confusing them. Humans have a knack for it." "Captain, that vessel is a command ship. The situation has escalated. They are likely the leaders of this fleet. Probability of direct engagement is now extremely high. Tess, adjust our systems to maximize speed and agility. Juno, prepare for rapid evacuation protocols if needed." Every maneuver was calculated but unpredictable, a human touch in a situation that machines could not fully anticipate. Eris continued to assist, her calculations guiding the crew subtly, but never taking control. "Your instincts are precise, Captain. Your crew's improvisation remarkable. I am learning from you. But remember, humans survive because we can act where logic and protocol fail." Tess pushed the Aurora's engines beyond recommended limits, the ship surging forward with astonishing speed. Juno monitored the crew, ready to patch up any injuries instantly. The aliens fired, their energy beams slicing through space where the Aurora had just been. But the ship had already moved, its trajectory altered in ways the alien fleet could not predict. One by one, the smaller ships collided with each other in confusion, the command ship struggling to maintain order. The Aurora slipped through the chaos, emerging unscathed on the far side of the system. The crew let out a collective sigh, adrenaline still racing. Eris's voice was softer now, almost reflective. Humans, you are truly remarkable. I am harmless, yes. But your ingenuity, courage, and unpredictability, they are extraordinary. Let's just hope they don't come back with reinforcements. That's what makes humans humans. I am harmless, but your crew, Captain, your crew is extraordinary. The stars outside seemed calm, almost peaceful, but experience had taught them that appearances could be deceiving. Captain Lara Vance sat in her chair, her eyes scanning the instruments on the bridge. Eris, she said, voice steady, status report on the alien fleet. Are they regrouping? Their probability of aggression has increased. However, they are still cautious. Human ingenuity has unsettled them. They're probably recalculating their entire strategy right now. If they figure out how humans think, we could be in serious trouble. Small alien craft emerged from behind asteroids and energy clouds, their angular shapes barely visible against the darkness. Rian frowned. They're probing, testing us. They're sending smaller ships ahead to see what we can do. I recommend minimal exposure until you can determine their intentions. Rian manipulated the Aurora's stealth drones, sending them in erratic, unpredictable patterns. The alien probe faltered, momentarily unable to track the ship. Gotcha, Rian muttered, a grin on his face. They're thinking trying to adjust, too slow. Too rigid. But we need to stay one step ahead. The alien fleet hesitated, unable to risk following too closely. The Aurora zipped between the rocks with astonishing speed, its human crew calculating angles, timing, and trajectories in real time. Impressive, Eris said softly. Humans navigate unpredictability better than any algorithm I know. Your instincts are remarkable. But instincts only take us so far. Creativity and courage are the real weapons. If we can trigger the energy nodes in this asteroid cluster, we can create temporary energy bursts. Nothing that damages the asteroids, but enough to scramble their sensors. We'd have a few seconds to escape every time. Alien sensors faltered again, the small ship spinning in confusion. The Aurora darted through, using every moment of disarray to widen the distance between themselves and the fleet. Even as they advanced, Lara knew the situation was still dangerous. Eris, any intel on their command ship? That's the one we need to watch. If they coordinate well, we're in serious trouble. Humans are hard to read. Suddenly, an alien ship managed to close the gap and fire a pulse of energy directly at the Aurora. The shields flared brilliantly, absorbing the impact, but the blast sent the ship lurching. Tess worked quickly, rerouting power to maintain stability. Shields holding, but we can't take another direct hit like that, she said, sweat on her brow. Juno checked the crew's vitals. Everyone's fine, minor jolts, nothing serious, but we need to stay sharp. They're testing our limits. We're not just surviving, we're teaching them a lesson. Eris's voice was almost in awe. Your tactics are extraordinary. No algorithm I know could predict these maneuvers. Humans truly are exceptional. We're just doing what humans do best. Survive, adapt, and outthink the enemy. The command ship finally moved, its massive hull cutting through the darkness with terrifying precision. Energy beams flashed from its weapons, targeting the Aurora directly. Lara held her breath, knowing that one mistake could be catastrophic. Eris, suggest an evasive maneuver, she ordered, steady despite the tension. The AI's calculations were rapid, providing multiple options. Probability of success is highest if you use the asteroid field's natural gravitational anomalies combined with rapid vertical and lateral adjustments. Humans, response time and intuition make this viable. Energy blasts streaked past, narrowly missing the ship. Rian, Tess, and Juno executed their roles perfectly, each action in sync with Lara's commands. The Aurora seemed to dance in space, a living embodiment of human ingenuity and courage. For a moment, everything seemed still. The alien fleet hesitated, its command ship calculating, unsure how to respond to a crew that refused to follow predictable patterns. The humans, though exhausted, felt a surge of confidence. They had faced overwhelming odds and survived, using skill, teamwork, and pure creativity. Lara allowed herself a brief glance at her crew. We're not just surviving, we're teaching them something. That humans are unpredictable, unstoppable, and brave. But your crew, they are extraordinary. Every calculation I make, every scenario I predict is surpassed by your instincts and creativity. You are remarkable. That's enough. They had faced danger head-on, relied on their instincts, and survived against impossible odds. The stars stretched endlessly before them, and the Aurora sailed on, carrying the most dangerous weapon in the galaxy, a crew of humans who refused to be predictable. For now, the humans were safe, but they knew the aliens would be back, and when they returned, the Aurora's crew would be ready. Because humans were not just survivors. Humans were clever, brave, and unstoppable. The Aurora drifted deeper into the uncharted system, its hull glinting faintly under the pale light of distant stars. The crew had spent hours maneuvering around the alien fleet, their nerves taut but steady. Despite the exhaustion, there was a quiet confidence among them. They had survived impossible odds before, and human instinct had once again proven more reliable than raw power. Captain Lara Vance rested her hands on the armrests of her chair, eyes scanning the holographic map of the system. The alien fleet was still tracking them, but its movements had become cautious, almost hesitant. Every encounter had taught the humans something new. Every misstep by the aliens widened the advantage. Eris's calm voice filled the bridge. Captain, the alien command ship is adapting. They are observing human patterns, attempting to predict behavior. Probability of direct engagement has increased. Exercise extreme caution. We improvise, we create, and we act when logic fails. That's how we win. Every maneuver, every adjustment is human intuition at work. And humans win when they refuse to be predictable. The transmission includes coded patterns that mimic your previous maneuvers. They are testing for weaknesses in human unpredictability. Humans survive when they trust instinct over protocol. Juno, keep monitoring everyone. We move together, humans first, machines second. Deploying decoys now, Rian said. Holographic projections shimmered outward from the Aurora, creating multiple copies of the ship. Energy readings duplicated across space, giving the illusion of several Auroras maneuvering simultaneously. The alien fleet hesitated, their sensors momentarily overwhelmed by the illusion. Lara seized the opportunity. All right, execute vertical maneuvers, maximum agility. Tess, reroute power to stabilize after sudden shifts. Juno, be ready for rapid repositioning. Every movement was precise yet unpredictable, a symphony of human instinct and skill. Eris's voice was softer now, almost reflective. Your coordination and improvisation surpass calculated probability. Humans adapt in ways I cannot fully model. It is extraordinary. That's enough. It was calculating, waiting for the perfect moment. They're trying to trap us, Rian said, tension in his voice. The command ship isn't moving. They're waiting for us to make a mistake. We survive by outthinking, outmaneuvering, and outlasting. Good, humans survive pressure, adapt to the unexpected, and thrive in chaos. That's our advantage. Juno, brace for impact. Humans are too unpredictable. Human courage, creativity, and cooperation. That's why we survive. They won't give up, Rian said quietly, his eyes scanning the radar. They'll adapt, they'll try again. But humans are unpredictable. We make our own rules. Lara's hands tightened on the controls. Eris, status on command ship capabilities, she ordered. Weapon systems are advanced and precise. Probability of direct engagement is extremely high if further interference occurs. They are analyzing human behavior. Each maneuver you execute teaches them something new, but adaptation is ongoing, Eris reported. Lara's lips pressed together in determination. Then we teach them more, not just about maneuvering, but about humans themselves, about courage, ingenuity, and the refusal to be predicted. We might even find a way to turn this against them. Humans function best under pressure, and we're proving it. The alien fleet tried to adjust, but every move was met with a new human tactic. The decoys flickered and shifted, the energy nodes pulsed with precision, and the Aurora danced through the chaos with unparalleled skill. Even as exhaustion weighed on the crew, their spirits remained high. Humans thrived in situations that required quick thinking, adaptability, and collaboration. No alien technology could predict every move, anticipate every choice, or replicate the ingenuity of human minds working in harmony. Eris's voice was soft, almost awed. Humans, you are a marvel. Your adaptability, creativity, and cooperation are beyond calculation. I am harmless, yet your actions demonstrate power greater than any weapon. Power comes in many forms, Eris. The greatest weapon humans have is not firepower, it's courage, intellect, and the refusal to be predictable. Yet the humans had proven one undeniable truth. Their ingenuity and courage made them forces no enemy could fully predict or control. And as the stars stretched endlessly before them, the Aurora sailed onward, carrying a crew that refused to be confined by rules, expectations, or limits. Humans survived not because they were strongest, but because they were clever, brave, and unstoppable. For every obstacle, every enemy, and every unknown, they would rise. Because that was what humans did. The Aurora moved silently through the asteroid field, its silver hull reflecting the pale light of distant stars. The crew had spent hours evading and outmaneuvering the alien fleet, but Captain Lara Vance knew the challenge was far from over. The aliens were clever, patient, and relentless. Every move they made was calculated to test the humans' limits, and every response by the Aurora had taught the aliens something new. "Status on the fleet?" Lara asked, her voice calm but alert. Eris's smooth tone filled the bridge. "They are regrouping. Smaller ships remain scattered within the asteroid field while the command ship maintains a cautious position. Probability of coordinated attack remains high. Human strategies have slowed their advance, but they are learning. I've got the energy nodes ready. If we trigger them at the right moment, we can create multiple interference bursts that scramble their sensors for several seconds, enough to turn the tide in our favor. This is our strength, Captain. Execute the plan." Tess triggered the energy nodes, sending bursts of interference across the field. Alien ships spun in confusion, narrowly avoiding collisions. Every pulse of light and energy created chaos in their formations, giving the Aurora a critical advantage. "Look at that," Rian said, a grin spreading across his face. "They can't keep up with us. Every time they adjust, we change again." Humans are unstoppable when they think differently. "Vertical maneuvers now," she commanded. The Aurora twisted sharply, engines flaring as the ship dodged a series of deadly energy blasts. The command ship fired again, but the combination of drones, interference, and human instinct allowed the Aurora to slip through unscathed. Eris's voice was calm, almost reverent. "Your crew's improvisation exceeds any prediction model. Humans are remarkable. I am harmless, yet your actions demonstrate power greater than any weapon. It's risky, but humans thrive on risk when combined with ingenuity. Humans are strongest when coordinated." The smaller ships chased holographic decoys, while the real Aurora twisted through interference bursts, darting unpredictably in all directions. Energy beams streaked past, colliding harmlessly with asteroids as the humans used every ounce of skill and creativity to evade danger. Rian laughed, exhilarated. "They can't keep up. Every move we make teaches them something new, but they can't anticipate what's coming next. Technology alone can't replace cooperation." Every maneuver was calculated, yet unpredictable. Humans had a way of thinking outside patterns, of improvising when logic alone failed. Eris's voice was soft, filled with admiration. "Humans are extraordinary. Your creativity, courage, and coordination surpass any model I have. I remain harmless, yet I witness power greater than any weapon." "It's not about power, Eris. It's about ingenuity and courage. That's what humans survive with." The aliens' coordination faltered, their technology unable to counter the combination of instinct, teamwork, and improvisation. Suddenly, a pulse of energy from the command ship illuminated the field, temporarily disabling the Aurora's sensors. Lara's heart pounded, but her voice remained calm. "Rian, rely on instinct. Tess, reroute power to stabilize the ship. Juno, prepare for sudden maneuvers. Humans survive in chaos, remember that." The command ship fired again, energy beams tearing through the darkness where the Aurora had just been. But the ship had already moved out of reach, guided by human intuition and teamwork. Rian grinned. "They're trying, but they can't match us. Humans are unpredictable, unstoppable when we act together. Every move we make is something they didn't expect." Energy bursts from interference nodes scrambled alien sensors, while decoys created false targets. The Aurora moved with incredible agility, twisting and darting in ways the aliens could not anticipate. Even as fatigue weighed on the crew, they remained focused, driven by human instinct and determination. They had survived countless challenges before, but each encounter reinforced a fundamental truth. Humans thrived in chaos, adapted when others failed, and used creativity and teamwork to overcome impossible odds. Eris's voice, calm and reflective, filled the bridge. Humans are remarkable. Your actions demonstrate ingenuity, courage, and coordination beyond prediction. I am harmless, yet your crew embodies a power greater than any weapon. Lara executed a series of maneuvers combining speed, vertical thrusts, and lateral shifts, all guided by instinct and creativity. The Aurora twisted through the asteroid field, avoiding damage, while the alien ships faltered and collided. Rian laughed, exhilarated. They can't keep up. Every action we take creates an opportunity. Humans are unstoppable when we act together. That's why we win. Every maneuver, every decision reinforced the fact that humans were not merely survivors. They were innovators, strategists, and fearless in the face of overwhelming odds. Eris spoke softly, admiration clear in her voice. Humans, you are extraordinary. Your adaptability, creativity, and unity are beyond calculation. I am harmless, yet your actions embody a power greater than any weapon. The alien fleet, frustrated and disoriented, began to retreat, unable to overcome the combination of human unpredictability and ingenuity. The crew allowed themselves a moment of quiet triumph, knowing they had proven one undeniable truth. No matter the technology, the numbers, or the strategy, humans survived and thrived because of their courage, creativity, and teamwork. And as the stars stretched endlessly before them, the Aurora sailed on, carrying a crew that refused to be predictable, defeated, or controlled. Humans survived not because they were strongest, but because they were clever, brave, and unstoppable. For the crew of the Aurora, the battle was far from over. The aliens would return. They would adapt. But humans had one advantage no enemy could ever overcome: their minds, their courage, and their unbreakable spirit. And in the vast silence of space, that was enough. The Aurora moved silently through the dark void, its hull gleaming faintly in the distant starlight. The asteroid field behind them was littered with debris from the alien fleet's earlier pursuit. Captain Lara Vance stood at the helm, her eyes fixed on the holographic displays that mapped the surrounding system. The alien command ship was still out there, massive and relentless, its movements cautious yet menacing. Every human on board knew this would be the final encounter. Eris's calm voice filled the bridge. Captain, the alien fleet has regrouped. Probability of direct engagement is now extremely high. They are aware of human unpredictability, but continue to attempt containment. Humans first, machines second. If we coordinate perfectly, we can split their forces and isolate the command ship. Everyone is focused, adrenaline levels high, but stress is manageable. Humans function best under pressure. This is our advantage. Small alien ships swarmed around them, firing bursts of energy that barely missed the hull. The Aurora's stealth drones darted in unpredictable patterns, mimicking the ship's movements and creating multiple illusions. Decoy deployment complete, Rian said. They're chasing shadows. The real Aurora is free to maneuver. Alien sensors flickered and misread the Aurora's location. For a moment, the alien ships faltered, giving the humans a critical opportunity. Now, Lara commanded. The Aurora twisted sharply, moving in ways no algorithm could anticipate. Energy beams streaked past, colliding harmlessly with asteroids. The crew's instincts, coordination, and improvisation guided every maneuver. Eris's voice was calm but filled with admiration. Humans, your adaptability, ingenuity, and courage exceed any model I have. I am harmless, yet your crew demonstrates a power greater than any weapon. That's what keeps us alive. Captain, Rian said, scanning the holographic displays, we can isolate the command ship if we split the smaller vessels. Timing has to be exact, but humans thrive on precision under pressure. This is our moment. The drones created multiple false targets, pulling smaller alien ships away from the command ship. Tess's interference burst scrambled their sensors, creating chaos in their ranks. The Aurora slipped past the smaller vessels, positioning itself near the command ship. The massive alien ship fired relentlessly, energy beams slicing through the void. Lara's hands moved with flawless precision, guiding the Aurora through sudden shifts, vertical thrusts, and lateral maneuvers. Each move was instinctive yet calculated, a combination of human courage and creativity. Eris observed silently. Probability models cannot account for the human combination of intuition and ingenuity. Your actions demonstrate power that is extraordinary. Extraordinary, Captain, that's us. Humans always find a way. Teamwork makes humans unbeatable when facing impossible odds. Humans survive because we take risks others cannot imagine. Execute on my mark now. Command ship isolated, Rion said, his fingers flying across the controls. They can't coordinate effectively. This is our advantage. Human ingenuity will do the rest. Every movement, every adjustment reinforced a fundamental truth. Humans were not just survivors. They were innovators, strategists, and fearless under pressure. Eris's voice was calm, filled with admiration. Humans, your actions surpass any predictive model. You are extraordinary. I am harmless, yet your crew demonstrates a power beyond technology. It's not technology that wins battles, Eris. It's courage, intelligence, and teamwork. That's what humans survive with. The humans' combination of decoys, interference, and instinctive maneuvers created chaos that the aliens could not overcome. Rion grinned broadly. They're learning, yes, but they still can't predict humans. Every move we make is a surprise. Every maneuver teaches them something they cannot anticipate. We thrive where courage and creativity combine. Rion laughed with exhilaration. We did it. Humans are unstoppable when we act together. Its smaller ships followed hesitantly, confused and frustrated. The Aurora, battered but intact, emerged from the chaos, its crew victorious not through brute force, but through courage, creativity, and teamwork. Eris's voice filled the bridge softly. Humans, you are extraordinary. Your adaptability, ingenuity, and unity surpass all expectations. I remain harmless, yet your crew embodies a power greater than any weapon. The alien fleet, though technologically superior, had been outsmarted, outmaneuvered, and outwitted by human ingenuity. The crew allowed themselves a moment of quiet pride, knowing they had proven one undeniable truth. No matter the technology, numbers, or strategy, humans survived and thrived because of courage, creativity, and cooperation. Rion leaned back in his chair, exhaling slowly. They'll remember this. Humans are unpredictable, unstoppable, and brilliant. No matter the danger, no matter the odds, we rise. That's what makes us human. That's who we are.